Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Umne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. Welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. Today, we are going to see the another lecture in the genetics. In last lecture, we have seen the how to remember the epistatic gene interaction ratios, and I am very much confident that you must like that lecture and the tricks which are involved in the different ratios of epistasis. Today we will see the dominant epistasis. If you are new in this online platform, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. Before going to discuss about the dominant epistasis, first of all, here we will see what is the meaning of epistasis or the epistatic gene. If you see, the presence of alleles means they are present on the homologous chromosome on the corresponding loci or the similar type of the position. In such cases, the gene which is responsible to mask the activity of the other, then it is known as the dominant one, and the gene or the allele which is masked by the another gene is known as the recessive one. But the similar type of the phenomena when is carried out in relation to that of the alleles which are present on the different locations, or in other words we can say that these are the non-alleles. Means whenever there is a masking effect among the non-alleles, then the gene which is responsible to mask the activity of the another gene which is located and on another location on the same or other chromosome, that is known as the epistatic gene, and the gene which is masked by the epistatic gene, that is known as the hypostatic gene. But in a recent year, both the genes are considered as a epistatic gene. So let's see the dominant epistasis. First of all, here as we have seen the dominant epistasis ratio also. Again we will revise that how this ratio we can immediately recall. In dominant epistasis, the word dominant that we have to remember, and this is our routine dihybrid phenotypic ratio, that is yellow color of cotyledon round seed, yellow color of cotyledon wrinkled seed, green color of cotyledon round seeds, and green color of cotyledon wrinkled seeds. So this is a dihybrid phenotypic ratio that we have seen earlier even in the lecture of independent assortment. So this ratio is 9:3:3:1. Out of these characters or the phenotypes in which the both are dominant in case of the yellow and the round, then first one is dominant and second one is the recessive in yellow and the wrinkled. First one is recessive, second one is dominant in case of the green and the round, and both are the recessive in case of green and the wrinkled. So if you see the dominant epistasis means we will have to focus on the dominant character, and the first position of the dominant character is found in the two different places, that is the first place and the second place. So this 9 plus 1 we have to combine, so that 9 plus 3 and it becomes now the 12, and rest of them will be remain as it is, and hence the ratio of 9:3:1 is now modified into 12:3:1, and which is the dominant epistatic ratio. So let's see the different crosses which are involved in the dominant epistatic. So first one we will have to take an example of summer squash. In this plant there are three different type of the fruits. This plant is nothing but the kaddu. So say for example, if the two plants, that is one with the white fruit and another with yellow fruits. The one organism that is the male one and another as a female one. We'll consider this as a parent. The genotype for these characters are capital W, small g, and small w, capital G. So they will form the gametes, separation of the homologous chromosomes, that is one goes to the one gamete, another goes to the another gamete, and in the similar case. So here it will form the gametes containing the capital W, small g, and here it will form the gametes containing small w and the capital G. So in this way there will be the fusion of male and the female gamete, and we will get the F1 generation. So the F1 generation will be now containing the genotypes, that is the capital W, small w, capital G and small g, and the phenotype of this organism or the phenotype of the fruits from the F1 organism are white. So this is because of what? Because here the gene, that is the capital W, when is present in a dominant form, then it is responsible to mask the activity of the gene which is responsible to produce the yellow colored squash fruits. So in this way, whatever the condition of the gene which is responsible for the yellow fruits, here it is masked by the gene which is responsible for the white fruits, and hence it is dominant one. Because without presence of this gene, there will not be the development of the white color. So this becomes now our F1 generation organism. So let's see the F2 generation. Now this is the F1 generation organism, and we will have to form the different gametes. So there will be formation of 4 different type of the gametes, that is first to first, then first to second, second to first, and second to second. So in this way, capital W, capital G, capital W, small g, and small w, capital G, and small w, small g, this will be the gametes. So we will have to write here capital W, capital G, capital W, small g, small w, capital G, and small w, small g. The same gamete sequence we will write here also. The capital W, capital G, capital W, small g, small w, capital G, and small w, small g. So we will have the combination, that is capital W, capital W, capital G, capital G, capital W, capital G, small g, capital W, small w, capital G, capital G, capital W, small w, capital G, small g. Here capital W, capital G, small g, capital W, small g, capital W, small w, then capital G, small g, capital W, small w, and small g, then capital W, small w, capital G, capital G, capital W, small w, capital G, small w, capital G, small w, capital G, small g. Here capital W, capital G, small g, capital W, small g, then small w, capital G, small g, and small w, small g. So this will be our F2 generation organisms. So if you see the phenotype, already the color to the box is given, that out of it where there is a presence of capital W and whatever the second gene, because the first gene which is responsible for the development of the white fruit is dominant over the other character which is present at the other location. So in this way there will be the formation of the 12 plants bearing the white fruits, then the 3 plants they develops yellow fruits, and the remaining one, in absence of the gene which is responsible for the white fruits as well as the yellow fruits, they will form now the green fruits. So there will be the one organism which will bear the green fruits. So in this way the ratio becomes now 12:3:1, which is the dominant epistatic ratio. The another example that we will have to take from the coat color or the skin color of the dog, means here an example of the dog. Say for example, if we have to take two organisms as a parent in the form of, one is male dog having the white coat and the another with a black coat. The genotypes for these characteristics will be capital I, then small b, and here small I, capital B. Again, in the similar manner, there will be the formation of the gametes by these parents, and the one allele from each pair will be there in the gamete. So capital I, small b will be formed by the one organism, and small I, capital B containing gamete will be formed by the another organism. So the F1 generation will have the combination of these gametes in the form of genotype, that is capital I, capital B, small b. And if we see the phenotype of this F1, and that is one white. So in this way we will have the F1 generation organism after crossing or the breeding in between the female white dog and the male black dog. So in this way now we will have to raise the F2 generation with the help of genotypes, that is capital I, capital B, small b, which is the hybrid genotype for the white coat color in the dog. So this is now the F1 generation organism which form the 4 different type of the gametes. So now we have to write again here the same capital I, capital B, capital I, small b, capital B, and small I, small b. In the similar manner, capital I, capital B, capital I, small b, capital B, and small I, small b. So here there will the combination, that is capital I, capital B, capital B, capital I, capital B, small b, capital I, small I, capital B, then capital I, capital B, small b, capital I, capital I, capital B, small b, capital I, small b, capital I, capital B, small b, capital I, small b, capital I, capital B, capital B, capital I, capital B, small b, small I, capital B, then small I, capital B, small b, capital I, capital B, small b, capital I, small b, small I, capital B, small b, and small I, small b. Already the color to the box are already given with respect to the phenotype of the coat color in the dog. So here also we find the 12 dogs in the F2 generation as a white one. 3 dogs are black colored and the one is brown. So in this way, here we will get the ratio of 12:3:1. The two different examples are taken in this dominant epistasis because here the botany and zoology students can use the respective type of the examples in the examination. So I am hopeful that this lecture will be useful to you in preparing your examination in the UG and PG classes as well as the different competitive examinations. If you like this lecture and if it is useful to you, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life science titles. Thanks a lot once again.